the tunes are going on. We're brewing something great for you. My name is Matt Carter. Welcome to episode number 105 of the show right here on Shaw TV. Our musical guests right in behind me right now, vocalist, multi-instrumentalist, and all-around Gabriola R-star Tina Jones. She's here with Cameron Latimer and Bill Hicks, who are two fourths of 40 Roses, a great band and very talented folks in their own right. We're going to hear some more of their music. We're going to hear about some upcoming CD releases and shows as well later on this hour. Also coming up on today's show, we're going to talk computers and computer maintenance. We're very pleased to welcome back David Vincent from Sleep Deprived Computer Techs to the show. I can definitely guarantee he charges very fair rates because the Vincent price is a thriller. Vincent Price, any Michael Jackson fans out there? Anyways, in a culture going on where it's emphasized that we acquire more, it somehow might be a bit shocking when you have to move down to less, especially when it goes with your estate. So Bisla, she's going to talk with downsizing real estate specialist Ian Thompson and get us some very helpful information. Now food, of course, it's fairly important. It gives us energy to walk around, live, breathe, act very silly on community television. But when you have to make food and you got to impress, you got to bring your A game. So we have brought A game chef Johnny Lorrie and owner-operator Darcy McBride of Dish here in Nanaimo into the studio. And if you can take it, they'll dish it out. So they're going to be talking some food there with the very lovely Anna during the show. And what about Magic Love? Well, we have Magic Man Michael Berends and his Magic Moment with Michael, guaranteed to incite visions of love and amazement and often quite a bit of dizziness. And with love, of course, comes thoughts of the color red and your healthy heart. Ironically, major themes of the Zonta Red Gala, a February fundraising collaboration between the Zonta Club of Nanaimo and the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Bisla, she's going to speak with two folks involved, Diane Ship-Clark and Janet James. Now, calling all alumni of Woodlands Secondary School, we've got an update on the school's 60th anniversary celebrations this February, as Matthew Hoffman will get the goods from Gunnar Meyer, who's not only taught at Woodlands, but one of the best soccer players this town has ever seen. Got to give credit where it's due, and go Eagles as well. But first off, let's start off by looking down at the end of our legs. Yep, down there. So get ready, dig your heels in, don't move a foot, shoo your worries away, boot up your computer, and we'll kick things off because it's quite a feat here on the show on Shaw TV.
Out of bed in the morning because of pain, then you might be suffering from a condition known as plantar fasciitis. Yes, plantar fasciitis. And my guest, Dr. Katia Langton, is here to talk to us about that and how you can treat the condition. Welcome to the show, Dr. Katia.
Thank you.
So what exactly is plantar fasciitis and what causes it?
Okay, so it's such a common condition. It's in about 10% of the population. And basically, the plantar fascia ligament is on the bottom of the foot, and it attaches from the inside of the heel, supports the arch in the foot, and then attaches to the ball of the heel. And this ligament is susceptible to repetitive strain injuries. So there's a multiple different reasons of the cause of plantar fasciitis, but you know you have it when you have that classic pain. First footstep in the morning, you feel pain in the inside of your heel, then you sit down and the ligament contracts and shortens again, and then the next time you stand up, it rips again and causes that pain. Yeah. That's when you know you have it.
Wow. So self-diagnosis, I think I have plantar fasciitis, but I don't know how it happened and what caused it. So what are the things or the habits that can lead to plantar fasciitis?
Okay, so it can come from a number of different biomechanical reasons in the foot. Sometimes the ligaments, the joints in the foot, there's too much movement, there's too much stretch in the ligaments, and it allows that ligament on the bottom of the foot to have too much motion, and it stretches and it causes small tears in the ligament at the heel. It can be from not enough movement in the ankle, like not enough flexion in the ankle. It can be from a leg length inequality. One leg is shorter than the other. But it can also be from, a quick weight gain over a short amount of time, or increased activity over a short amount of time.
So apart from the pain that you feel in the morning from the ligament tearing. Just thinking of that makes me cringe. Are there other symptoms of plantar fasciitis?
Well, it's basically that classic first step in the morning, you start the inflammatory cycle, and the ligament rips off of its insertion in the heel. Then you sit down at the breakfast table, it tightens up, and then it rips again. And you go throughout the day with this inflammatory cycle, and you really, to get rid of it, you need to, it's a full prong approach to treat this condition, because it's tricky and it can go on for a long time, years.
So can it be treated?
Absolutely.
Okay, and how can one treat plantar fasciitis?
Okay, so the main, So the main thing is you want to figure out the biomechanical reason for it. If the arch is collapsing or there's too much movement in the joints, you want to control the foot. You want to support the arch, and then you use all these are custom foot orthotics that support the arch and control the biomechanics that are leading to it. But then this, as well as this, it's multiple things you have to do. Okay. You want to stretch out the tight muscles. You want to strengthen the small muscles of the foot. You need to ice it to decrease the inflammation. Cold laser therapy to decrease pain and inflammation. Ultrasound. And then, and also a night splint. You have to sleep with your foot in a night splint to hold your foot in neutral so that you break that cycle of that ripping first thing in the morning off of the inside heel.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so they say prevention is better than cure, so can it be prevented, and how?
Okay, so plantar fasciitis doesn't happen in people that work like in the forest, on uneven terrain. It happens on people that work on concrete floors, teachers and nurses. So the best thing that you can do is walk on uneven terrain, the forest, hiking, walk on the beaches. As well as good for your balance, it'll strengthen the small muscles in the foot. And then preventatively get your feet checked for any biomechanical problems that will predispose you to plantar fasciitis.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Well, you've heard it. If you have plantar fasciitis, you can do so many things to treat the condition, or better still, the best thing is to prevent it from happening. And now I'm going to throw things over to Matthew, and he'll be doing some computer talks.
Hi, I'm here with David Vincent. We're going to talk about New Year's resolution on cleaning up and keeping maintenance with your computer. Hi, David. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. Good to be back.
Awesome. I know you were here last year. Can you tell us this year, how does someone know when to clean up their computer?
Knowing when to clean up your computer is a very tricky question. Generally, if it's starting to act kind of slow or you're getting error messages popping up on your screen, it's probably time to do some kind of maintenance, but it might already be too late by that point. You want to be doing preventative maintenance along the way to keep it going and working optimally most of the time, right? So things that you can really do to keep it working well, generally speaking, put on your updates, put on your software updates. Those kinds of things are always fixing bugs in the software, making the system better, and fixing security holes, which is better for everyone in the end. Making sure that that you're not the typhoid Mary causing problems for other people on the internet because you've become a source of spam or something like that. So Windows sends out updates for second Tuesday of every month. Mac is a bit more random. It's kind of whenever they feel like. But definitely when those come out, you put them on. And other things are making sure your temporary files are kind of cleaned up. Some good tools for that. There's one called C Cleaner, which I really, really like. There's a version for Windows. There's a version for Mac. There's a version for my Android phone. And those go clean up temporary files, clean up the system registry, and make sure that there's not a bunch of junk kind of slowing the machine down, extra processing that it has to do kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
No, definitely. Well, that's some good feedback. When is it good to purchase a new computer, in a sense? Or what can you do to not purchase a computer?
I'm running a laptop that's about 6 years old. It's working great. It's running Windows 10. My desktop is probably 5 years old. Running Linux, I'm having no problems with it, kind of thing. It comes down to parts, hardware. You can go buy cheap parts for your machine. and you won't get as good a life out of them as you will if you spend a little bit more and get some mid-range or higher-end parts for your system. And so, you know, a good quality hard drive goes a long way. You'll get better performance out of it and a longer life. Good memory goes a long way. Having enough memory so that you can handle more software, and as software gets updated and gets patched, it gets more complex.
Yeah,
it takes more system resources. So having more memory so you can handle the growing complexity of the computer and the more resources that it'll take over time to keep running, those are great things to do.
Yeah, definitely. I know I have a Mac and I've had it for about 5 years. I'm not really wanting to buy a new computer, but it's nice to know that I can keep it updated.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of always doing like the actual updates to the new software, but necessarily just always doing the updates that are offered.
Right. There's a difference between updates to the software you have installed and, say, upgrades to the system. So we were talking before the show, you're running Mavericks on your machine.
Yep.
It's important to put on the updates for Mavericks because they're fixing bugs in that software, they're fixing security holes, they're making it better all the time. You don't necessarily want to do the upgrades to, say, El Capitan or the latest operating system. In your case, you've got a tuned machine that's doing a specific purpose for you, and software is a house of cards.
Yeah.
You know, in your case, you don't want to unbalance it and cause everything to come crashing down. But you still want to do your updates to keep yourself secure and safe, and plan for those upgrades, because eventually your system will fall off the edge. Apple won't be providing you those updates anymore. And in order to stay safe, you'll need to upgrade it to a newer version of the operating system.
Awesome. Well, that's great to know. And it goes the same for like Windows computers as well.
Absolutely. Windows is a bit different. Like Windows XP had 12 years in the marketplace. Apple's supporting operating systems for about 3 years, and then they fall off the edge. So it all depends on what you're running and what you're doing. A lot of people are asking me like, oh, should I take advantage of this free Windows 10 that's out there? And I'm telling them, you've got a 6-year-old computer, it's running Windows 7, it's working perfectly fine. There's no killer feature for you. Are you going to get a new computer in the next 4 years? Then don't bother upgrading because there's no need to. Windows 7 is working great, and you're still going to be getting updates from Microsoft to solve problems with that. If you've just bought a machine recently, say it's got Windows 8.1 on it or something like that, definitely consider the upgrade to Windows 10. It is a better operating system, and a lot of things have been fixed and work faster in it than they do in the previous versions.
Awesome.
Kind of thing.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm glad to have you back on the show. It was a pleasure, and a lot of insight I got for my own personal use. And we're going to throw it over to Tina and David.
Great.
Awesome.
I can feel this quickening. I can feel this quickening. Feel this quickening. Feel this quickening. Rising up from the ashes. What's old is new. Vitalize the time of life. We're gonna see this through. Spinning through the narrows to the open sea. If only you knew. Well, there's got to be
Oh, Billy Hicks there
Yeah.
on the cajon? On the cajon drum right there. As well, musical guest in behind us, Cameron Latimer here. Welcome
right.
to the show here on Shaw TV.
Thank you so much, Matt Carter.
All right, that song there, The Quickening, title track to your upcoming solo album. Is this correct?
This is totally correct, and I'm super excited.
Tell us a little bit about the album.
Well, it is a first for me to be putting out a collection of songs that are just my own material. Been wanting to do it for a really long time, and it's finally happening. So, can't wait.
So I'm interested a bit about the style of music that's going to be on the album, because knowing you and sort of do a little list of accomplishments here. I mean, you've played disco with Wonder Bread, you've played funk and soul with the Tina Jones Band, you've sung jazz in small groups and played trumpet in big bands. You've played all sorts of instrument styles, of course, with the Kerplunks, award-winning children's music, Juno nominated. So how do you take all these different genres, instruments, and distill it down to a solo album?
Banjo.
It all comes back to the banjo.
Well, all my sort of musical life in the last, since I was a teenager, I've wanted to find an instrument to accompany myself as a singer. And the trumpet doesn't work because you can't play trumpet and sing at the same time. So eventually I found the banjo, and it's really only been about 3 years. And as I grew as a banjo player, I all of a sudden started writing these songs that were completely different than anything. But they took pieces of all the types of music that I've been playing over the last couple decades as, a professional musician.
So, I mean, a lot of people think of the banjo sort of as, maybe like a bluegrass or, I want to say like a hillbilly instrument, but, it's something that's not, I'm not saying that.
It's true.
It's not. So why does it work? Why does it resonate with you then?
Oh, good one. Resonate. Well, you know what? It has a beautiful mellow tone, and I'm really fortunate to have a really beautiful instrument. It's a handmade instrument that I had made for me, so because I've got small hands and stuff. So it's experiencing a resurgence in popularity, the old-time style, but played in lots of different styles of music. And a lot of the music that you'll hear on my album, Quickening, is sort of a folk jazz element of things with some other instruments as well. I also play trumpet on that, but. Yeah.
Nice. Who made it for you?
This is a Romero banjo, so Ferris and Jason Romero of Horsefly, BC.
Very cool. All right. I want to bring a camera up to the mic here for a quick sec and give these guys some due as well. You and Billy play in a band called 40 Roses. Tell us a bit about that band.
Well, we played together about 10 years ago, but we haven't played together since then, really. And I put this band together about a year ago now. And there's lead guitarist Adam Dobre, bass player Rick May, Bill Hicks on percussion, and myself on lead vocals.
Nice. Well, I looked at your group on Facebook there, and where it says genres, there's 15 different genres, and then it finishes off with the quote, "Labels are silly." So sort of describe then what the sound of 40 Roses show sounds like.
Down the genre? No?
I didn't write all the genres down.
That would have been fun
This
to rattle
genre,
that
this
off.
genre, this genre.
I guess some people call it indie folk rock, I suppose, or alt country, or it's very, very diverse, It really floats around quite a bit, but I guess some people would call it alt country. Let's go with that for now.
So what is it after 10 years that sort of brought the band together now?
Well, I played in several bands over the years, and after each one of them sort of fell apart, I put out a record called Falling Apart.
Apropos.
And then I just sort of cherry-picked songs from each record and started a new band with these guys. And really, I just went under my own name for a long time because I couldn't think of a band name that I liked, and I finally thought of 40 Roses, and I'm happy with it.
What's the impetus behind 40 Roses as a name?
One of my favorite songwriters wrote a letter to a friend of mine, and at the end, instead of saying yours truly, he said 40 Roses, and I thought,
Nice.
Bam.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap this up here quick, but I do want to ask, where can people see the band playing next?
We're playing Saturday, January 30th at the Music Hall Food Company in Ladysmith, and we're also playing February 19th at Herman's Jazz Club in Victoria.
Perfect. And I'll get Tina to step back up, and I hear you're about to release the Quickening album. Where can folks check that out?
It's
for the
true.
first time?
Well, you can find it if you Google Tina Jones Music on the interwebs. I'm still doing a pledge campaign right now, and it's live. And if people want to make a pre-order, they're going to get their own digital copy emailed to them next week. But then it officially drops on February 18th at a big party on Gabriola Island at the Phoenix Auditorium. And Cameron is going to be opening on that event as well. Awesome. And then we're doing a double bill at Herman's the next night in Victoria on the 19th. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to hear some more songs later on in the hour, and congratulations again on the upcoming projects. Thanks. Very. All right, so now, thanks Tina, Cameron, and Bill down there as well. For now, we're going to throw things over to Bisla, who's keeping it real estate. Keeping it real estate. Bisla, over to you.
Thanks, Matt. Chances are you might be going through a period of downsizing right now, or at least you know somebody who's about to. But downsizing does bring about some challenges, and my guest Ian is here to talk to us about how to make downsizing an easier process. Welcome to the show, Ian.
Thank you, Bisla.
So why do people downsize?
Well, there's two reasons people downsize. Personally, they're going to downsize when they're in a house and sometimes their kids have moved away. So they're in maybe 3,000 square feet and they really only, most of us only live in 3 or 4 rooms, the kitchen, bathroom, maybe your favorite, your bedroom and a study perhaps. And that's about it. You don't go downstairs in the rest of your house. So you're looking around going, why do I need a house this big? So you want to downsize to maybe 1,500 square feet. The other reason people downsize or think of downsizing is because of their parents. So, you know, I'm 58, my dad's 89, and he is in possibly in a townhouse and now needs to go to a smaller space again. So it's from 2,500 to 1,500 down to 500 perhaps in some form of assisted living. And that can be quite stressful both for the parent moving and the person who's trying to help them, right?
So what challenges do people face when they are about to downsize?
Well, the challenges could be anything from finances. A lot of us, when we own a single family home, we want to sell our house and then buy something smaller for the same price. So we don't want to spend any more money. And part of the challenge is more people are looking for smaller homes today than are looking for big homes. So it can be frustrating and quite disappointing for people if they own a house that's $375,000, but what they want to buy is $425,000. So it's more money.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. And the other one is the thought of where is my stuff going to go?
That's a big one.
Right. All of us have stuff. It's in the garage. It's in the basement.
Underneath your bed.
It's underneath the bed. It's in the closet. The kids left it when they moved out. My kids did that. There's things in the garage, and what am I going to do with all my stuff? Because it won't fit where you're going, right? So that's a big challenge, and part of being a downsizing specialist is figuring out ways that we can support people doing that, and different companies in town are now starting to start up to help in that process.
So how can one walk through these challenges to kind of make it an easier process?
Well, I think it's planning in advance. It's like many things. It's thinking, okay, if it's my own house, I need to start thinking before it needs to happen. And I guess the best way to say that is only a crisis initiates action. We hear that sometimes. I'm living in my house, everything's fine, and then perhaps I have a fall or some health issue that makes me want to move quickly. And so the more you're prepared for that, so if you can think of, if I haven't been using a lot of things in my house, how can I give them to my kids now, have garage sales now, and know that eventually you're not going to stay in the house that you're in. So the more work that you're doing, the better. And financially, even if you're not thinking of moving for a year or two, maybe it's time to start looking now for smaller homes and see what they are going to cost, so you can either, adjust your lifestyle somewhat or perhaps stay in your own home. Like there's ways to downsize in your own home. I've talked to people that are living in a house that's 3,000 square feet and 15 per floor. So they put a suite downstairs where they don't go anyways. And now they're living in a 1,500 square foot home with income downstairs. So that's the thing about downsizing. Sometimes you don't have to move to downsize.
Actually, that's a great plan. So quickly, do you have any other tips for people who are in the process of downsizing right now or who are planning to downsize in the near future?
I think the biggest tip is to talk to your family members about it. Specifically, well, there's the two categories. If someone is, 70 or 75, and they should be bringing it up now. Lots of times we don't want to do that because we're either embarrassed that this point of life is changing for us. And that's usually why people don't want to talk about it. They'd rather not get old. And, you know, we are. And sometimes you know the next move is going to be a significant one for you. Maybe it's you're not driving your car anymore. So the more you're talking about that, even if it's uncomfortable, the better it is. It makes everybody want to help you more and in a positive light.
Plan towards it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Ian.
You're welcome.
And now I'm going to throw things over to Anna, and they'll be dishing up something very tasty for Valentine's.
Thank you, Bisela. Yes, we are going to be dishing it up. And my favorite time of year is Valentine's Day. And I know I love to cook, but sometimes it's a little difficult to get into that kitchen and make that most awesomest meal possible. And that's why we have someone like Dish to help us out with that. Today, I have my guests, I should say, Darcy McBride, who is the owner-operator of Dish. Welcome, Darcy, and his chef, Johnny Lorrie. Welcome. Thank you for coming to the show.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here, obviously.
Excellent. And do tell us a little bit. Johnny is preparing the most exquisite
Yeah, we do some
mushroom
catering.
soup.
A little bit about us is, you know, we're trying to offer this way for people to be able to eat healthy and have, you know, everybody wants that home-cooked meal, but not everybody has either the ability, the time, or maybe the knowledge of how to make that happen.
True.
That's where we come in. Whether it is just a one-off, whether it's a single meal, whether it's kind of a meal prep program, whether it's lunch on a Tuesday, whether it's something like what Johnny's putting together here, which is one of the many options of our Valentine's Day home gourmet package that we're doing.
Gourmet package, I like that.
So I was told by a little birdie at a catering event lately by a lady, I'm not sure who she was, that this mushroom soup is to die for. So what we're doing, first of all, we're going to do a dairy-free button mushroom soup. Everything almost is exclusively dairy and gluten-free in our place, which is really big these days for a lot of restrictions.
Yes.
And so as Johnny plates here, we're basically going to see what I said was a dairy-free cream of mushroom, button mushroom, and he's going to finish it with just a little bit of wild gnocchi mushroom and cremini. And
gnocchi mushrooms, did you say?
And,
gnocchi, sorry.
and some cremini.
Oh, wow.
And so this is going to be one option for your first course if you are doing your take-home gourmet. We're going to have a couple of soups, a couple of salads, some entrees, which we're going to show you a little more of apparently later on. And of course, some dessert, because you can't do Valentine's without dessert and chocolate and all that.
Really important.
We'll be offering a wine pairing, and you basically can do everything from your home that you would get if you're table 20 in a restaurant. You can be table 1 of 1 with your significant other at a price that I would say reflects both convenience and also, you know, the ability to do this at home.
And then you also have the intimacy. If you want to have
There
like
you go.
a special kind of Valentine's evening.
Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, Johnny, it's not a huge challenge for us to be able to cook dairy and gluten-free and still come up with dishes like this.
It's amazing. And what other kind of dishes do you have that you offer on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis. So we're lucky to have the neighbor we have, which is Nesvog's Meats. Arnold is great. If you're familiar with him, he has this big terminal location.
You're right next door to
Yeah, a free plug for him because it's awesome to have him as a neighbor on the new location on Bowen Road. So basically, we can kind of knock on the door and say, hey, we need a half a cow, a quarter of a pig, and bring us some chickens, and let's turn this thing into a cookout. And it's awesome to have that, and it's all grass-fed, you know, local product. And for our sandwich end of things, we have Columbia Bakery as a neighbor, so we like source all of our bread out of there, and we're able to bring what apparently, for some of the folks on Facebook have said lately, is the best sandwich in Nanaimo.
Oh, really?
So I will take that and run with it. I believe in this guy. I believe in our neighbors, and I will issue the open challenge of if there is a better sandwich in town, bring it by.
You know, I really love the fact that you are incorporating the neighborhood into what you make.
Local. I literally went to school 500 feet away at Forest Park School, and then the other school I went to, well, this is weird how this show's tying together, because they're going to hear about my high school, actually, a little bit later as well.
They will, and we will be coming back again. Thank you for now. And right now, we are going to have a special magic moment with Michael.
And go, Michael.
All right, hey, thank you very much, Anna. We are here for another magic moment right here on Shaw TV. And today, of course, we have to bring along my very special guest, the host of the show, the amazing Matt Carter. Charlotte's here too. Yay. Charlotte's here too. Hey, Matt, today we're going to do something with a glass and some of these. These are coins.
Can I have them?
Sure. They're American half dollars. I think each one's worth about $8
That's now Canadian,
Yeah, crazy. Here, do me a favor. Check those out. Make sure there's nothing wrong with them.
Okay.
All right, very, very good.
No, they're legit.
They're legit. American half dollars. And how many do we have? Four of them, and we have a glass. And this is where the magic happens. I want you to watch all four and watch the glass. Because all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this. It's going to go up my sleeve, down and around, and you can almost swear that one drops the side of the glass, and that leaves me with how many?
Oh!
I know, 3. Okay, Matt, you look confused.
I'm very perpetually confused.
We can do that again, okay?
Okay.
We'll take 3.
In there.
That's right. We'll take one like so, just like this. We'll take it like this. We'll grab it. Goes up, down, and around my sleeve, and into the glass.
Okay, so there's 2 there. And
That's 2 and 2.
2 there.
All right, check them out. Make sure they're okay. Make sure the glass is okay. Do me a favor. Just make sure everything's copacetic. Make sure I have nothing else in my hands. Very good. Very good. All right.
Legit.
There's number 1. Whoop. There's number 2. And we have 2 more. Here's where it happens. You ready? Watch. This one goes like this. Ready? And that's it. I know it happens really fast. But Matt, it's the last one. It's the last one. That's the best one. All you have to do is grab onto my wrist for me. Do me a favor. Here's the last one. Watch. Ready? It's going up, slow motion, down and around, and into the glass. That's 4 coins and a glass. Matt, I'm going to leave everything here with Matt here today so he can figure out how this is done and show you guys the trick. Have a good time, Matt. That was it for another magic moment. See you later, Matt, buddy.
Wow. Round of applause. Listen. If you can get some beer in there, it'd be even more incredible. Awesome stuff. Oh, watch. Here's the official Kerplunk's water bottle, apparently, which don't see any coins in there. So awesome stuff. Wow. Thank you very much, Michael, again. Hey, you're watching the show right here on Shaw TV. About halfway through the program. So far, we've put our best foot forwards toward healthy feet with Dr. Katia Langton. We've talked computers with David Vincent. Met our musical guests, Tina, Cameron, and Bill, representing 40 Roses. We've looked into real estate downsizing with Ian Thompson. Talked Valentine's food with Darcy and Johnny from Dish. And of course, wowed once again with Mr. Michael Berends, the magic moment with Michael. Coming up on the show now, we're going to learn about the Zonta Club of Nanaimo's Red Gala. We're going to get an update on the 60th anniversary happenings and activities associated with Woodlands Secondary School. And much to my delight, because I'm ridiculously hungry, we're also going to go back talking more food with the crew from Dish. But first, right about now, it is time for a little more music, so I'm going to throw it back over to Tina Jones, Cameron Latimer, and Bill Hicks. They're going to play an original Cameron Latimer composition called Hawkins, Pickle Road for you right here on the show on Shaw TV.
My drugs across the counter. Never ask how I'm doing, as if I didn't know. Maybe try to slip me something. It's all the same to me. I should be good to go. I tried to leave this town fast. Time and again, you just follow me back. But every time you come to see me, it sure feels like you're coming home. So bring your box of pills and your medicine. You're not gonna believe the shape I'm in. Your blue eyes douse the fire in my veins. No, but all you're gonna do is break my heart again. Past the mill, past the bend in the river, where the highway becomes undivided again. Take Hawkins, Pickle Road, take it down to the bottom, then you'll know. To bring your box of pills and your medicine, 'cause you're not gonna believe the shape I'm in. Your blue eyes douse the fire in my veins. still out here in this house. I told myself today's the day I'm going to get out. But your headlights coming up the drive, they make my heart ache. That part of me is dying. So leave your box of pills and your medicine, 'cause you're not gonna believe the shape I'm in. Your blue eyes douse the fire in my veins. No, but all you're gonna do is break my heart again. No, but all you're gonna do is break my heart again.
What happens when the Zonta Club teams up with the Heart and Stroke Foundation? I'll tell you, lots of ladies in red and plenty of awareness towards women's cardiac health. Welcome to the show, Janet and Diane. So good to have you here. So what is Zonta Club about, Janet?
Zonta Club is part of an international organisation, Zonta International. We work in service and advocacy for women in terms of positive promotion of women and ending violence towards women.
So Zonta has a 13-year partnership with the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
Yes.
That's a very long time.
Yes.
Why is this alliance important?
So it's actually a 13-year alliance that we have now, and it's important in terms of heart health is our aim, and one of the main killers of women is heart disease. And our aim is to raise awareness locally, to raise funds for heart and stroke, and to continue to promote positive health for women.
So Diane, you had a heart attack, and I can't even begin to imagine how that must have been for you. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience and also how the Heart Sisters fit into everything you went through?
Absolutely. So in 2007, I suffered a major heart attack and ended up having triple bypass surgery at the age of 56. It turned my world upside down, to say the least. And I was searching for something, I'm not sure what I was searching for, but what I ended up doing was being connected with another woman who had a similar experience. And so her and I met, and then other women got referred to me, and now we have a group of 13 women.
Wow.
And I became quite involved with the Heart and Stroke Foundation. I would go out to women's groups and speak about the dangers of heart attacks and the warning signs and all that. So the Heart and Stroke Office has been, for me personally, just invaluable. And the Heart Sisters, we meet once a month, and it's just been a huge support, not only for me and my healing, but for all the other women as well. We don't always talk about being sick or having heart disease. We just talk about everything and everything.
About
We've become a
life in
great,
general, yeah.
absolutely, yes. It's a great group of women.
Wow, that's really, it's really fantastic that you can have the support of other people who have been through what you've been through, right? And just be able to create new friendship from all that.
Absolutely. It's invaluable.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Life-changing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yes, yes.
So it's safe to say that the theme for the Zonta Red Gala is heart health.
Yes.
So what is the aim of the gala?
So the aim of the gala is to continue to raise awareness and promote women's heart health. It's to raise funds for Heart and Stroke Foundation to support research programs. It's also to continue to raise awareness of Zonta Nanaimo and the work that we do locally, and also the promotion of ending violence towards women as an organisation from Zonta.
Wow. So Diane, when is the gala and who can attend?
Okay, the gala this year will be on Friday, February the 5th at Coast Bastion Inn. Doors open at 5:30. The event is open to all women, and it's a great way to support the local Heart and Stroke Foundation and women with heart issues.
And one last question for you. What is the plan for the evening? What's going to happen?
The plan is a fun-filled evening. We have entertainment. We have a bit of a music quiz. I was going to say pop quiz, but music quiz. As part of the evening, we have the Femme Fatales for our finale, which will really raise our heart rates.
Okay.
We will have a raffle and 50-50. And as I've said, lots and lots of fun.
Nice.
It's well worth coming out for, ladies.
I can imagine. So, well, you've heard it. Make sure you mark down that date to go to the Zonta Red Gala. And now I'm going to throw things over to Matthew.
Hi, I'm here with Gunnar Myers from Woodlands Secondary School, and we're going to discuss the 60th anniversary of Woodlands and the alumni. Can you please talk to us about how this came to be?
Yeah, so it is the 60th anniversary and alumni weekend, February 12th, 13th. Thanks a lot for having us on the show and chance to talk about what we think is a really important event in our community. How it came to be is 60 years ago, Woodlands opened as a junior high. It happened to be today, January 27th, which is significant. And I've got a couple of little eagles here, a small one and a big one. It evolved from a junior high to a full 8 through 12 school over those years. Personally, I've been there 27 years, almost half of those 60. And I've seen it go from a junior high prior to getting there. And then my first year of teaching, it was the first graduating class. And then now it's going to be the final one as we close in June for good. So our celebration 60th is a perfect time to celebrate what we've had in our history, and it'll be the final celebration as a big community. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, most certainly. It is sad to see it go, but I know this event's going to be quite big. What sort of things can we see at this event?
Yeah, it's a party, it's a celebration, and what we expect to see is a whole community come out. 60 years in a town the size of Nanaimo, it affects so many people. I can look around the studio and I can see people that I've taught, siblings, parents. So every day I get Facebook notifications, I get phone calls saying, hey, what's it all about? What's going on? So what we expect to see is this. On the Friday the 12th, from 6 till 9, it's alumni sports. It's men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball between 6 and 9, followed by a social afterwards for those 19 years and over. Yeah. And on the Saturday, from noon till 4, we have an open house. Now, this is kind of the feature thing. What we've done is to create 5 themed rooms, a 50s and 60s room, a 70s room, an 80s room, a 90s, and a 2000 to now. The organizing committee has done a tremendous amount of work over the last half a year to go to the Nanaimo Museum, to the school district artifacts, through our school and different schools to collect memorabilia, pictures, stories, artifacts to display through the school on that weekend.
Yeah, most certainly. Well, and I'm sure it's going to be exciting. I know it's mainly for everyone that's been through Woodlands, right? Can they bring their family and friends as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we call it Alumni Weekend because we want people to make it a bit of a reunion for those who have gone there, the families and stuff. Like I said at the beginning, it really involves our entire Nanaimo community. It's a significant school. It was one of 3 junior highs at one time, so a lot of people fed into NDSS, and a lot of people went through Woodlands at the time. So everybody's welcome, kids, parents, grandparents. In fact, we have people coming that were in the very first class in 1956, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. Do you have how can people find out more information to get registered for this?
Go to Facebook and go just type in Woodlands 60th anniversary. It'll come up. We have some stories. We have the itinerary. I can tell you that we have the theme rooms. We also have the band playing throughout the weekend. Our band is a famous band. We've produced some pretty impressive musicians, Diana Krall included, one of a Grammy Award-winning musician, and she went through the junior high there before going to NDSS. And although she's not coming, we'll feature some of her stories, her story. And we have a number of people. We have Olympians that have gone through Woodlands. So we're going to celebrate stories from everybody, including those who have probably more public, kind of, not more important, but more known stories than a lot of people. So we're really excited about the people that are going to come and what we can celebrate.
Awesome. Well, it was great to have you on the show. We are definitely going to miss the Eagles in June, and as well as all your guys. So thank you for being teachers throughout the years and being a part of this community. I'm going to throw it over to Anna to talk more about food with Darcy.
Thank you, Matthew and Gunnar. And the school closing is something that touches a lot of people's hearts, and we have an alumni with us today.
Yeah.
Darcy.
Interesting to follow that, to be honest, and Gunnar, along with a few of the other ladies and gentlemen that had a big part of me growing up in this city, so I would be lying if I said it didn't pull on my emotional heartstrings. I'm not nervous to be on TV, but I can feel like I have an emotional reaction to listening to everything that Gunnar just said. So I just want to say thanks to everybody from there, and especially a good friend of mine, Peter Spencer, who was intricate in my upbringing from there. So sad to see it go, and I'll do everything I can and everything I need to do to get my hand on some grade 8 lockers from that year. Anyways, we have other business at hand. As we showed you earlier, Johnny was doing our mushroom soup, which was one of our starter courses. And now the beautiful thing is, you know, as we said with Valentine's Day, is not everybody wants or maybe can logistically make it out to a restaurant. You have children, you have work, you have all different things. So what we're doing is actually creating a way you can take a restaurant quality meal home.
Now explain what all of this is too.
So Johnny's going to start plating what we're going to feature as one of the 3 entrees is a duck confit leg. So confit translates in French to cooked in fat, basically slowly rendered in an oven. And so we're going to offer you all these pieces and parts that are literally this easy to put together. Now, we started with the quinoa pilaf, which we actually used the dish container for as a mold. And then we kind of, you know, plate almost in a 5-star, you know, gourmet setting kind of style with a crisscross of some long stem broccoli, some fresh radish, just for a little bit of fresh kind of, you know, that almost palate refresher. And of course, to finish our duck confit leg, which has been Frenched, which basically means everything has been taken from the bone here. It creates a bit of a handle for you to pull from. And finished off with just a couple of long stem chives as well. And this, along with a few other things, will be available with pictured step-by-step instructions on how you can take home
it and make it look just as beautiful
You don't
as
need this guy's experience to make that happen, because I got this guy on my team and we're making it happen for you here. The idea being, you know, like I said, logistically or even financially, as prices do vary, but if for any kind of pricing, I believe that you guys are going to be running some contact information for us, so you can either swing by the shop.
How can we get in touch with you?
2139A Bowen Road. So that's easy enough. The old location of Piper's Meats, where their new neighbor, where Nesvog's currently is. And then if not, you can find us on Facebook at Dish Nanaimo. We do all kinds of awesome giveaways if you're sharing our statuses and stuff like that. Instagram and Twitter at Dish Chef. Got to plug that social media. And you know, you can call us anytime at 250-585-CHEF, which translates to 2433. And we're going to kind of change the game this Valentine's Day. You'll have starters, you'll have salad options, entrees, excuse me, and some delectable desserts from this man and myself.
And we're pretty much going to give you everything to essentially make a 3-course gourmet dinner at home by just reheating and plating it yourself with pictures and everything to go.
This is the only spoon I can find.
We didn't get a tasting for the mushroom soup, but we haven't touched it because you made some very serious threats before the program that if you weren't the first one to sample this, there were a lot of people going to be hurt here tonight. So we didn't want to do that.
I have been to an event that Darcy, you guys have catered, and it was absolutely incredible. I highly recommend the food.
Yeah, and we do everything from catering to, like I said, prepared meals. We have a fresh deli where you can come in and, you know, get something fresh just in and out 2 minutes. You can be coming in and essentially doing your shopping, your cooking, your prep, your driving to and from the grocery store, your childcare, everything. Essentially, we almost sell spare time more than we sell food, because what do you do in your spare time? You make your food.
I cook.
So let us cover that. Yeah,
it's really time.
Enjoy that. And technically, it's not.
And desserts aside, everything is gluten-free and dairy-free as well. So that's also a big selling point for us. So.
And aside from that, what else? We do some children's stuff. We do some stuff geared to the seniors community. A lot of vegan options as well. A few raw options for any of your raw tuna lovers. We do a tuna poke that's very popular. That is very hard to find in this city.
Find more spoons.
Yeah, Johnny's on the search here, trying to find some more artillery here. We got another spoon.
No more spoons.
We'll find one later. Exactly. I'm not doing home until
Fork will work. Make it work.
This is gonna happen.
That's a kitchen.
It's so thick.
You work with what you have.
It's so thick. You can eat it with a fork.
You work with what you got, not what you need. That's a kitchen 101 right there. Hopefully not as dry as your comedy.
That is it.
You got a spot open? You got a spot open?
That's more applause than I've ever gotten in 5 years on the show.
Sorry for the takeover, bro. I got to take my time when we got
okay.
it.
If you can cook food like that, you can take over.
Come see us anytime.
So. Exactly. And thanks, honestly, thanks so much for being here and and showing us that
That was amazing.
food that can be prepared, or we'll even say quote quote fast food doesn't have to be cheap food, doesn't have to be horrible food. It can be nutritious, tasty, attractive,
Breaking
and everything.
the stigma that fast food is garbage food. No, fast food can be delicious, amazing. It can be showroom quality food.
Good for you.
That's right.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Anna, and
Darcy
everybody
and
here,
John.
and much appreciated.
That's
Same
great.
thing. Yeah, thanks, you guys. Anna, thanks for putting this together.
My pleasure.
I must admit, when I was walking in here, I did almost sort of want Joni to be down here, because then we could have changed the name of the TV show to "My Name is Joni. I grant you 3 dishes." So my name is Joni. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So regardless, thanks, Anna, Darcy, Johnny. Talking about Valentine's and food, of course, if you make a good dinner on Valentine's, it gives you always a good excuse to spoon. You can put on that funky show, Return of the Mac, the Knife. Though some couples just like to put on their glasses and go out to bowl instead. And you'll notice I avoided any sort of jokes with the words fork and cup in there. A good idea, says Todd. He's in charge of good taste here. I do want to think it is quite appropriate, though, that they did mushroom soup and duck confit here on the show, because if I have more of their food, I can't fit in my pants anymore. Confit, because I ate too much. Why? Because there's not much room. There's not much room. There's just not much room anymore. Anyways, I do want to say thanks to all of our guests, all our hardworking volunteers who really should get in on this food as well, all the folks behind the cameras, in front of the scenes. I do also want to especially thank Joni Heron here at the conclusion of this show. So episode 105, this is her last show as producer of the show, been with us in a producer role for about a year, but she's also not so much more. Floor directing, even on this show, she's doing some floor directing, has done some amazing interviews, amazing hosting as well. So please, a big round of applause for Joni Heron and all the work that she's done on the show and shop. All right, so to finish off here, not only some great food from Dish, we want to send a big thank you to Mambo Pizza as well for their pizza helping to feed our crew. Thank you, Mambo. Hey, you can find more information on the show on Shaw on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. You can find past episodes there. Also on our Vancouver Island, Shaw Central Vancouver Island YouTube page. Just Google that up. And hey, if you have an event, cause, demonstration, or more you'd like to see featured on the show, we're also looking for great Central Vancouver Island guests. So drop a line to our executive producer, Kate Bergen, kate.bergen@sjrb.ca. It's K-A-I-T. And also, if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to be one of the folks holding the camera and behind the scenes, always looking for volunteers, so drop a line to our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Hall. That's melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Before we finish off the show and we go eat a whole bunch of mushroom soup, though, one more song, this time from Cameron Latimer and Bill Hicks. Also, a big thank you to Tina Jones. The song is called Falling Apart. I'm going to go falling apart over that bowl of soup right now. Thanks for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
We walked along the beach, and she talked me out of staying here with you. We left the coast and sailed to the islands. Aloha. But there was a storm in my heart. Love I can't deny was falling apart, was falling apart. And love I can't deny was falling apart. Sailed home finish on the line. No, but she got away. But there was a storm in my heart, and love I can't deny was falling apart, was falling apart, and love I can't deny was falling apart, was falling apart, and love I can't deny was falling apart, was falling apart.